The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Welcome everybody, friends and pals, guys and gals, boys and girls around the world. Pop the squad, pop open a cold one with all of your friends. It is Wednesday night, a couple of hairs past 10 p.m., and you have been granted access to the uncensored, uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock. So whether you're a friend or you're a fiend, boy, girl, or in between, you are tuned in to a brand new episode of The Black Files.
Hells yeah. It's awesome to be here on Wednesday, November 29th. We are wrapping up the month of November, and we're heading into the final month to wrap up the year of 2023. And we haven't heard any Christmas jingles yet.
That's because you haven't been inside a shopping mall yet. But then again, no one in the last 10 years has. Decay of capitalism.
But it's okay, Wancho. But it's okay, Wancho. We don't have to, because for us, well, wrestling fans and any other fans who care, Christmas came early.
And so did hell freezing over, apparently, which explains why we've got a cold front down in Florida. I'm your host, Juan Arouse, one of the heads of the Ravens Flock, the tech guru of the team. I'm the guy who makes the beeps go boop and the boops go beep. Although I have kept all the beeps silent now, so I guess they're just blinking. And I can accept blinking. As long as the blinking is going on, I can live with it. Live with the blinking! Joining me tonight is, of course, the founder of the Ravens Flock, the man with the plan, the big bald bastard himself, executive producer and content manager of this channel, and of course the host of our flagship program, the Ravens Flock, live every Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and of course his pet project, the Wrestle Rewind, which is live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Folks, say hello to the one, the only, Mr. Jose Casabona!
Thank you very much for that warm introduction, Juancho. And it's been 3 years, or rather 4 years. I think we're long past overdue to call. I think we could stop calling it a pet project now. It's an official show.
I'm not saying that it's a pet project. I mean that it's your favorite program to do because you get to shine all on your onesies. The only difference is I'm helping you out a little bit, just like everyone helps each other out a little bit. We're all bros. We are here to help each other. And
Okay, so the Black Files would be considered your pet project.
Considerably, yeah.
I mean, if we're going by those standards.
If we are, which I do, because hell yeah, I apply double standards to myself, except when I don't want to. Jose, go ahead and take care of the house cleaning if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, not a problem. In the meantime, fix your mic because I can barely hear you over here on my end.
Hang on.
Yep, there we go.
Better?
All right. Now it's better. And folks, much like all our other shows on this channel, we are simulcasting on youtube.com/theravensflock and kick.com/theravensflock. Hit the subscribe or the follow button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Click the bell icon to enable notifications on all of our content. Leave your questions and comments below. We will answer as many as we can while we're live. And if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens Flock, then you can become an inner flocker. For $4.99 a month, you will have exclusive access to all the perks that comes with being a member. Juan, tell them.
Well, for all the inner flockers we've got in our chat, and I know we have plenty, go ahead and show off those lovely membership badges and custom emojis, letting everyone know that you have stepped up to help aid the Ravens Flock in our fight to break away from the shackles of late-stage capitalism and become full-time YouTubers for your amusement, for your enjoyment, for your desires, and for our freedom, for our liberty. The Sons of Liberty. I don't know what else I'm saying over here. You also get access to members first and members only content, a special discount to our merch store. Link in the description below, and you also get access to us, the Ravens Flock, your favorite motley crew of nerds, here to make your voice our mission by providing us your thoughts, your input, your feedback, your ideas on how to better shape the future of this channel to support and reflect your tastes and your needs. Saying hello to Matthew Coburn, Nikki Bella, Mr. Geek Me Out, and Green Eyed Dragon are in the chat so far. We got, let's see, how many people are actually actively in the chat? Let's see. Saying 5 concurrent viewers. Does that mean that there's 5 in the chat? Yes, it is. And yes, Mr. Geek Me Out, you're right. CM Punk is back. That's the whole point of tonight's episode. And yes, I did actually notice that, Matthew Coburn. The year ends with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
And I'm honestly more as excited as hell. Yeah. Let me see here. Green Eyed Dragon. This is probably a good move. Rewriting the mistake, maybe. Let's see here. The best in the world, CM Punk is back, says Nikki Bella. I knew CM Punk would return. They always come back to where it all started for them. Randy Orton is also back. You're right. Randy Orton is also back. And if it weren't for Charles Montgomery Punk, pretty much ganking the spotlight this past Saturday night, on the premium live event, the pay-per-views of the WWE, the annual Survivor Series event, which they have redubbed Survivor Series War Games. Wait, no, I cannot ever do it justice. I'm sorry, I hate repeating myself on this, but you know what? It is one of the only things that bears repeating. I'm just going to download the audio for it moving forward. That way I can actually keep it over here for us. Let me see over here. Okay.
War Games! War Games!
Okay, yeah, they heard it.
War Games! War Games!
War Games! Ha!
You don't have to. You don't have to do that.
Yes, I do. Every time I have to. It's the law, all right? It is written. It is an unwritten law. Okay, I have to follow it. I'm a good YouTuber, and I follow the laws. Okay, except the laws of assholes. I don't follow those. I skirt them. I maybe stretch them and skew them, but I don't follow them. I'm not a follower with those asshole laws. However, the laws of YouTubery demands that I meme out William Regal whenever we mention War Games. I have to.
Okay, fair point. But that being said, yes, WWE Survivors, this year's WWE Survivor Series War Games was one hell of a show. Me and Juancho, we got
show, I still have the wrong show background here. There we go. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, you're fine. Me and Juan, we actually got to sit down and watch the replay on Peacock, and we saw the entire pay-per-view event. Both War Games matches were fun. The women's match was slightly more enjoyable than the men's match, which was the main event, if I'm being honest.
All right, and I'm not going to hold that against anybody. Of course, you know, the women's War Games match was fun. You had Damage Control taking on a ragtag team consisting of Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi Blackheart, and of course
Becky Lynch.
The man Becky Lynch. Does she still count as being part of the women's team if she's the man? If she is the man, does that make it intergender?
Oh my god. Oh man, I don't know, man. I feel like we're not the only one asking these questions, Juan. But that being said, okay, the one advantage that the main event War Games match had was that it had a story, because the Judgment Day were running a roughshod on the entire WWE roster on all three shows, on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Can you believe that? Even the frigging the minor leagues, if you would, the developmental of WWE's the NXT show, they can't get away from Judgment Day either because of freaking dirty Dominic Mysterio, of all people. Little Mr. Chicky Nuggies and his tendies screaming for mommy all the time. But then again, if Rhea Ripley was my mommy, I'd be hollering for her too.
Well, Juancho, you know, Dominic can't even get a scream out without having all the fans boo him to death.
Which he rightfully deserves. How dare he?
But yes, the men's War Games match. Oh yeah, you may want to fix that.
There we go.
But yeah, the main event match was absolutely awesome regardless. Team Cody prevailed. Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, and the returning, the aforementioned Apex Predator, Randy Orton, came back. Yep, they defeated the Judgment Day, and everything was hunky-dory, and it was all great. The music, Cody's music played, everyone celebrated. We got the copyright logo at the corner, and then
it happened. And then the glory happened once more. The Rosemont Horizon Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, in Chicago, was blaring with not only the roars of over 15,000 Chicago natives, but also a re-release, a remastered cut of the spectacular, wonderful song by Living Colour, Cult of Personality over here. So, and of course, hang on.
Wait, what are you doing? What happened now? I don't think they can hear it, Juancho, with the microphone.
Can hear it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
They heard it, but I had to stop because, you know, copyright and all that jazz.
Yes. I love Living Colour too, but yeah. Yes. It's basically the topic of our show tonight, folks. After 9 years, after so much speculating, so much back and forth chatter on social media, so many what-if discussions, so many debates, after all the drama that's happened in the past year or so, what we never thought was ever going to happen, happened. And I said happened too many times. CM Punk returns to the WWE.
It was fucking amazing. The entirety of the house blew up, and there were people jumping in the air, like freaking out just at the mere sight of this man. I would love nothing more than to show the actual video, but copyright.
Yeah, I know WWE. They're very ruthless, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, they are. It can be a little daunting, but you know what? It's totally worthwhile. When it comes to trying to find the right stuff, trying to find the right the right kind of visuals and all that, and like this is literally how he's looking on his way as he went down the very sparse aisle. Like they've been going minimalist with these pay-per-view events for a long time. Have you noticed that now, Jose? Because they want to fill the actual arena.
Yes.
Can you believe that?
Yes,
I mean, got it filled.
Yeah, man. I mean, the pay-per-views in the past, from I want to say from the late '90s up until the first half of 2022, the WWE have always filled up their events, and they always have this one space to set up the Titantron.
Yeah, and they always have that space completely cordoned off and blacked out. However,
which is good for TV, which is good if you're hosting an event for TV shows like Raw and SmackDown.
But this was just wonderful. You have Matthew Coburn says he has the original album vinyl of Living Color for the Cult of Personality song over here. And Jingles the Christmas Elf is back in the chat. Hey up there, Jingles. Welcome to the Black Files. So you know, we do talk a little bit harsher over here when it comes to some of the topics of nerd and pop culture. It's part of what we do on the Black Files. We have to talk about some of the serious stuff and as well as some of the fun stuff. And we try to balance that out on these different programs. So I hope that doesn't put you off at all, Jingles, but thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show. He says that's totally fine. Let me see here. Yeah, and Randy Orton's back. You're absolutely right. It's actually Dusty Rhodes, not Dusty Rose. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, whose wonderful son has been part of motion pictures and sitcoms and television programs, baby. Yeah, and
also the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. He's the guy who's the pioneer behind War Games.
I'm just gonna let you say it that one time that way because I am actually fighting the urges to go back and play the William Regal sound. I'm sorry, it's a bad meme, but I have to.
No, it's all right. By the way, fun fact: do you want to know what inspired Dusty Rhodes to make the War Games concept?
Pray tell.
I kid you not. A Mel Gibson movie, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yep, that sound about right.
I'm gonna buy that movie. I've seen the Mad Max films, but that's my favorite one.
Well, even more crazy and even more badass than what's his face, the Road Warrior. Even more badass than Mad Max.
Okay. Road. Okay, that's not fair, man. Come on. Well, okay, the Road Warrior, that's a tie. Fury Road, I don't know. Didn't feel the same.
I thought so. Ha ha ha.
No, watch out. As in, I thought that a Fury Road was underwhelming.
God dang it. No.
But anyways, let's continue.
Like the crowd went ballistic there at the arena at Survivor Series.
Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago there. It was crazy. You had one guy that CM Punk stood in front of who was just hollering, "Chicago! Chicago! Chicago!" While CM Punk was looking more and more like his trainer Ace Steel. More and more each day, if you think about it, because take a look at the crazed look in his eyes with just half his smile out. Yeah! Nobody better mess with my doggo.
I can see that. Oh yes, definitely. CM Punk's return to the WWE definitely caused everything to cause the entire world of wrestling to turn itself upside down. And yeah, It's not opinion. It's fact. His return to the WWE was 10 times much bigger than his return to wrestling in AEW back in August 2021.
Which is bizarre. But you know what? I don't blame it. You still had people, well, of course, All Elite Wrestling is still All Elite Wrestling. They're not going to be able to get past that. But that being said, the entirety of the story that has evolved out from what has happened with CM Punk returning has been a story of epic proportions. Real quick, I do want to take a moment to thank the sponsor.
I forgot to do it. That was part of my job.
It's okay. I got you back because I also prepared a little bit for it because I'm going ahead. Like I was hyped over the past real quick, not 48 hours, 96 hours. Yeah, 96 hours, just about. With the news of CM Punk's triumphant return to the WWE, to the grandest stage of professional wrestling. So, in order for me to energize, I actually have to stabilize, thanks to our partners at Glitch Energy. This week, I'm trying out their Limit Test, which is a mixed berry, mixed berry blend. We've said it before, we'll say it again. It's no carbs, no sugars, no calories, no crash, no problems over here. And we highly we highly enjoyed getting to try out all of these. And I'll tell you right now, I'm digging the Limit Test. I'm still much more of a fan of the nerdies, but that's just me. But the Limit Test is a close second there. And like I say over here, they've got 3 different proprietary blends for energy over here. You have their Alpha Size, Cognitique, and let's see here, and also using natural caffeine from green coffee bean, and their third blend, which is Infinergy. All of these coming together. There's no sugars, like I mentioned earlier. Very little vitamin C involved in there. Well, I guess it's more vitamin C than you need. But you know what? I'd rather not have to deal with a flu or anything. So definitely give Glitch Energy a try, folks. And don't forget to use our promo code FlockFuel for 20% off of your purchase. So definitely give it a shot, folks. Glitch Energy is where it's at, and we wholeheartedly endorse it. We wouldn't be putting our names next to any product that we don't believe in or haven't personally tried. If it ain't good enough for us, it ain't good enough for our audience. So give it a shot. glitchenergy.com. Use our promo code FlockFuel for 20% off. I'm going to keep chugging along over here. Jose, please continue.
No, you're fine. But yeah, the CM Punk return has definitely stirred up like a lot of engagement in social media. I mean, it's WWE will keep advertising it, but like the way they word it is like CM Punk's return is the most like biggest thing that's happened in social media and in WWE history.
Right? It's insane. It's like what were the stats that they put out, Jose? Did you ever send me that? Or
I did. I think I sent it to you on Instagram.
Okay, that explains why I couldn't pull it up. Give me a minute over here.
Yeah, by all means, go right ahead. But, and this is something, and CM Punk has been an ongoing topic that we've discussed here on this channel following the chaos that's happened at AEW All Out in 2022 when CM Punk sat down in the media scrum and he basically, for lack of a better phrase, he basically crapped on the AEW promotion and really cut down the CEO, Tony Khan, in front of the entire world.
Well, to be perfectly fair and honest and TL and DR, the situation that had been brewing at All Elite Wrestling back in 2022 had been a long time coming, and it had been an issue that no one was willing to address or no one had the capacity to address. CM Punk shows up and he finds out, oh crap, the inmates are running the asylum. This is terribly unprofessional. What the hell? He's always had gone on record saying that his main driver for doing anything in the world of professional wrestling is to try to make the wrestling industry better for the talent, better for the fans, better for everyone to be able to make money, better for everyone to be able to work and to have national exposure, because he feels like he's been so he gotten so lucky despite all the crap that he dealt with along over the years, that he shouldn't just keep the boons of his success to himself, that he should pass it on. Now, this was the Instagram post that Aze sent me. Dig these stats over here. Survivor Series makes history. The most viewed Survivor Series of all time. Largest gate in Survivor Series history. Survivor Series merchandise sales record. Sponsorship revenue up by 24% versus 2022. And CM Punk's return, the most social moment in WWE history. What were people tweeting all over? What was the stuff that they were saying on Twitter? They actually put up the not the hashtag, but the statement, they actually did it, and he's back.
That's right.
And it took me opening that up Saturday night, just as Survivor Series ended, and after we went off the air this past week for the Ravens Flock and Los Amigos play, that I actually got to see what happened, and lo and behold, I was gobsmacked. I was absolutely floored. I'm like, I have to compose myself. I'm driving. I can't not freak out, though. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm calling Jose. I call you. You're behind. Your sorry ass doesn't pick up the phone right away. So how dare you?
I was cleaning up. I was trying to be a responsible adult.
Yeah, responsible adult, my behind. God almighty. No, but then I call you finally call me back because I got to do it on your schedule. And we freaking go in a psychotic assgasm of, oh my god, CM Punk actually came back. They went and fucking did it. The WWE actually went and did what they what no one thought was doable, what no one thought was possible, and there he is. What was I reading and driving? Asked Green Eyed Dragon. No, I was parked when I pulled up my Twitter, and then when I realized, oh crap, this is actually real, this is actually happening, I set the Twitter away, and I just pull up to dial, because I have my phone hooked up to the Bluetooth to the car stereo, and I call Jose, and he doesn't answer, and then he calls me back, and then I pick up, like, Jose, what the hell, pick up your phone next time. All right, I'm sorry, I was cleaning up, what's going on? He's back! He's back! They thought I was crazy! They all thought I was crazy for believing, for wanting so badly for the straight edge superstar, for the Second City Saint to come back to the WWE, to the biggest stage where he belonged. They all thought I was crazy, but I was right! It's real! They created it, and it was real! It's real! You called Angel.
I did call Angel.
Because he'd gone home at that point, and
we were trying to, and then after, we struggled about who the hell's going to tell him first, we eventually told him, and he freaking lost it, too.
He's like, no fucking way. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. It's not possible. It's possible. Wrestling Jesus has returned, as Angel is so affectionately nicknamed CM Punk, Wrestling Jesus.
Hey, he earned it. He deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves it, definitely. But especially with the actual theme of his iconoclastic persona, his polarizing persona that drives people to talk about him, whether they like him or they hate him or don't know enough about him, they talk about CM Punk. And everyone's got an opinion, whether the opinion is positive, negative, or neutral. That's the big thing about CM Punk that folks need to understand when it comes to him. He's not just opinionated for the sake of it. He is a man of his convictions. He's straight edge. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs. He lives a clean and healthy lifestyle, and he's proud of that. He's proud of being able to pull himself by his bootstraps, quite literally. like, and he's even gone on record saying, like, not only has he, like, done things like when like in order to prove people wrong, when they say that he couldn't make it, but he would do it and flip them off on the way out as he's making it. He started as a little backyard wrestler. He then went on to get proper training and started professional wrestling training and professional wrestling in IWA Mid-South. And from there, he went on to Ring of Honor. And yeah, like in the early beginnings of Ring of Honor, which was working with TNA Wrestling for about 5 minutes. And that's why he showed up in TNA Wrestling as well. And from there, he helped put Ring of Honor on the map. He had his legendary rivalry against Samoa Joe. The two of them knew exactly the same kind of match that they were going to have. They were both technical styles. They both had their own moves. CM Punk was the slider guy, so he had more of a high-flying repertoire to him, whereas Samoa Joe was the pound-and-ground submission, beefy, meaty man that he still is today. All that meat.
Oh, speaking of CM Punk and Samoa Joe, it's funny that you mentioned that because, following all the chaos that's happened with CM Punk after he returned to AEW Collision in June of 2023, leading up to AEW All In, the event that sold 81,300 tickets, according to Tony Khan.
That's not the real number.
I know that. CM Punk's title defense, where CM Punk defended the Real World Championship against Samoa Joe in the opening match, that was CM Punk's swan song. His final match in AEW was against his longtime rival, Samoa Joe.
Yep. And the drama of that was actually pretty nuts as well, because it wasn't meant to be his final match in AEW. There was, of course, we covered this back when it happened. There was a backstage altercation between CM Punk and another wrestler, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, over an issue regarding using stunt glass versus real glass. Jack Perry wanted to use real glass. CM Punk, who was like the senior guy, he was like trying to help keep people from dying. Like, okay, look, you want to use stunt glass. You don't want to kill yourself with real glass. It's not needed. You want longevity in your freaking career, not just being hardcore for the sake of being hardcore. Trust me, I know. I've been through this shit. They had a fight, and what's his face? CM Punk had apparently legitimately tried to choke out Jack Perry, and and Tony Khan, the owner, CEO, president, general manager, head booker, toilet paper bringer, head chef, and chief fluffing officer for AEW, got involved in the mix and had apparently been so fearful for his safety and the safety of all the people in the building that he was left with absolutely no choice but to fire Phil Brooks, CM Punk, with cause. He made that as a public statement, saying that he fired CM Punk for cause, and that he was so in such fear for his personal safety. I'm like, that is lawyer speak if ever I've heard it. And by the way, Jose, let's not forget the actual attendance number of AEW All In London was not 83,131 people, as we were led to believe by Tony Khan. It was, in fact, 72,265 people. That's it's
close,
11% less. It's 11% less, but that's still a relatively sizable amount. So much so that Will Ospreay, who wrestled for AEW All In London, he got that 83,000 number tattooed on him. And now that the fucking number's been proven fraudulent, he had to fucking find a way to get rid of it. And it's pissing.
Oh man, I'd be so embarrassed for Will Ospreay.
God almighty. At least
But-
wait for the actual numbers to come out first, man. Don't just take it on the boss's word. What the fuck?
I know, right? Now, I don't think we need to timeline everything happening with CM Punk going all the way back when he was fired from WWE 2014, do we?
No,
We don't have to, do we?
I can do the very, very, very abridged version. All right, fine. The short version. Do you?
Yeah, we could do the short version,
All
but
right,
I
do
don't
you?
think we could do the short.
I do.
All right.
Great, you're married. Kiss her.
All right. Let's do the short timeline version of CM Punk's firing in 2014, and we'll then actually do the timeline version of Punk's time in AEW before returning to WWE.
All right. I got no problems with that. Also, real quick, minor aside, but I want to give a shout out to our sister from another mister, Steph the Alter Nerd, who had successfully gone through her surgery today. She was supposed to go straight home afterwards, but apparently they wanted to keep her overnight for observation. So she's making it a friends/ladies night in her hospital room with Netflix, ice cream, biscuits, cookies, and hot chocolate. So much love to Steph the Alter Nerd, who's chowing down on vanilla ice cream over here. I think that's vanilla ice
Well,
cream.
that's good. Hey, you know what? Good for her. I'm happy that she came out of the surgery unscathed.
So am I. So, Steph, much love to you, hun. Get better soon so that you can sass off the sussy bakas of the Sussex squad, please. We definitely need you to continue doing that because ain't nothing more fun than antagonizing a-holes who are full of themselves because they happen to have been born in a higher station of society. All right. All right. So, long story short, CM Punk, after over a year of frustrations dealing with his creative, mounting injuries, and having been looked over / unconsidered for being part of the main event of WrestleMania in the WWE, had become very frustrated with his direction and had also become seriously injured. And back in it was 2013. It was 2013 in the Royal Rumble.
That's right.
Yeah, that was his last WWE appearance before this.
Actually,
past
no.
Saturday.
Royal Rumble 2014.
It was 2014, not 2013.
Yes, because he was terminated because he went home from the Raw show on January 29th.
Okay.
I remember because it was my birthday.
Okay, yeah, you're right. CM Punk was 2014 Royal Rumble. You are right. My mistake. Okay, so what happened from there was immediately after he was thrown out of the Royal Rumble match by Corporate Kane, which was hilarious. What do you call it? He was like, okay, I've got a concussion. I need to talk to Vince McMahon and Triple H in the back. I really need to talk to them. And they're trying to tell, okay, do you have a concussion or do you actually not have a concussion? There was a whole mishigas of that, and on top of that, he had also been having a growing a growth in his lower back that he couldn't get rid of no matter how many antibiotics he was prescribed by WWE's doctor. What's his face?
Dr. Amen?
Yeah, that douchebag, Dr. Amen.
Fuck that guy. But go on.
So from there, it goes on to show that Punk had actually gotten to the verbal altercation with Vince McMahon, saying you said that you were going to owe me one. I came back early from healing up my injured knee for you. I put myself through matches with a very dangerous guy, Ryback, who, by the way, is an asshole, for you because you said Ryback is the next big guy. You want to show people that he can go, and he can't, and he injured me, but I did it for you. And then from there, he just goes into saying, you know what? Listen, I'm injured. I cannot come, I cannot freaking do this stuff anymore. And moreover, to the point, you want me to face Triple H at WrestleMania this year rather than having me be part of the main event on there. And like you did last year, you had me face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. and everyone had been hollering that match was the best match of the night. It should have been the main event, but it wasn't. And now I couldn't. And why wouldn't you guys let me have that one little thing? And like, oh yeah, well, he's got the oh yeah, well, it was the best match. Like, okay, then why am I not being paid like it was the best match? Like, I'm being paid the same way that Undertaker, John Cena, The Rock, and Brock Lesnar were being paid in their respective matches. Why the hell am I not being treated as such if this is what you think of me? You guys are telling me one thing, and my checkbook and my battered ass body is saying another. So I'm sorry. I'm peacing out. I've got to go. I cannot do this anymore. He was burnt out, and he proverbially took his ball and went home. And from
Yep.
So
And
continue from there.
Yep, and following him taking his ball and going home. Between that time and before his wedding day, which is on June 13th of 2014, Punk went and actually addressed his health concerns. He got himself taken care of. The staph infection, the growing staph infection, the growing MRSA.
It turned out to be a staph infection. It was monstrous. It was disgusting.
It was very disgusting.
And the doctor even said, like, I don't know what the hell happened, but you should be dead from that kind of infection. It's too big. It is monstrous. They drain it. They put him on antibiotics. He was talking about how it was a nightmare. Go on, Zay.
Yeah, and then he was sent out feelers by Vince McMahon and Triple H. Like, they tried to contact him, they tried to reach him during the time period, and then after not giving Vince and Triple H any benefit of the doubt of talking with them. He was WWE FedExed him his termination papers, and CM Punk was fired on his wedding day, June 13th, 2014. CM Punk was fired by WWE.
Now, the crazy thing is that apparently the day before his wedding, Triple H texted him and said, "Hey, listen, buddy, can we talk for a few moments?" And Punk actually had texted him back like, "I'd love to talk, but right now I'm getting ready for my wedding, and I've got my honeymoon with my gorgeous, pretty, beautiful wife, AJ Lee. Once we're done with our honeymoon, then we can talk. I'll be more than happy to, but not before." He took his time to try to get himself healed up. He took his time to get this set up for his wedding, and in that time, apparently they had announced that he was on a sabbatical, and then they said he's suspended, and then finally they went down to him being terminated.
Yeah, he was terminated the following day. It was very calculated, very vindictive on the end of WWE, according to Punk.
That was a dick move.
That was a dick move. And, until recently, Punk thought that it was Triple H who laid down the hammer and fired him.
Or Triple H was the one who petitioned for him to be fired. But lo and behold, that was all a Vince McMahon decision, and a stupid one at that. Why do you think we keep making fun of that old fart? Anyhow, so apparently Punk had been also having issues with royalty checks. He got himself set up with a lawyer. He went after WWE to get his money that he was owed, and even got them for his wrongful termination, and sometime after that, the doctor that was the WWE doctor, Dr. Amen, Mr. Z-Pack guy who wouldn't actually lance him and treat him properly for the staph infection, decided to sue CM Punk and his friend Colt Cabana, with whom he actually used to air out his grievances publicly on the Art of Wrestling podcast back in 2014, and that resulted in Punk and Cabana having a falling out over legal fees, over being upset with each other, oh, hey, you said you were gonna pay for my legal fees, Punk, what the hell? And Punk saying well, you said you got this stuff done, and apparently they decided that he's not gonna attack him over that, so and they dropped it, and he even offered to apparently pay for those legal fees, but it wasn't enough. At least that's all according to what Punk has been saying over the years. Now,
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2021. Is it?
Yep, August 2021. After 9 years away from the professional wrestling scene, CM Punk made his historic return on the second edition of AEW Rampage, dubbed "The Final Dance" at the United Center. The first dance at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois.
It was a wonderful moment. Everybody and their mother was hollering and hooping and hollering. The best in the world, the straight edge superstar, had returned to the world of professional wrestling. And we all thought that this was going to be a wonderful, gorgeous, pretty, beautiful, brand new run of CM Punk being 100% independent and out from under the corporate thumb of WWE. And it was going to be the biggest thing to ever happen in the world of professional wrestling. CM Punk has returned and he's going to be all elite.
And it was fun.
It was good.
Yes, it was absolutely good. Like in their pay-per-view event, AEW All Out 2021, CM Punk had a great return match against Darby Allin.
Right, who was another straight-edge guy who also happens to be a jackass. I mean that in the nice way, as in the stunt guys who do silly shit jackass. Not how Ryback is an actual jackass, and it went all over social media saying, I put my career on here and say, if CM Punk returns to Survivor Series, I will retire from professional wrestling forever. And then CM Punk returned, he's like, I lied. I meant to say that if he returns to All Elite Wrestling, I'll retire. But he didn't, so I'm not retiring. Ha ha. Fuck Ryback. I haven't blocked him because he's an idiot.
Jesus, man. But no. It was a great match, yeah. And during his time in AEW, he gave AEW some much needed star power. No disrespect to the wrestlers that they have in AEW right now, especially the homegrown talent who are trying to help the promotion form an identity of its own, but they were lacking in star power. They were lacking in mega star power, and CM Punk has that aura. He has that star power.
Which is wild because All Elite Wrestling started off with some big name legendary professional wrestlers in the mix. You had Chris Jericho in there.
Yes, you had Chris Jericho. You had Cody Rhodes, for goodness sake, one of the founders.
They started with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. They had the icon Sting in the roster, actively wrestling, still bumping and thumping at the age of 60-something.
I like that. That's a good rhyme, Juancho. Good job.
I didn't do it on purpose. Who else has been All Elite when CM Punk showed up?
There's been a lot of. Yeah, Brian Danielson. Yeah, Brian Danielson showed up after CM Punk.
Okay, my bad.
But yeah, no. The point that I'm trying to get is, yes, AEW has a roster of really cool wrestlers. They have Kenny Omega. They had the rest of the Elite. They had Chris Jericho. They had Cody Rhodes. They had Jon Moxley, the former Dean Ambrose from the WWE.
Right. They had people who could help carry All Elite Wrestling to that next level that they needed. But it wasn't until CM Punk showed up where people started to look at AEW as an actual serious competitor, because CM Punk has basically showed up and he's like, he's no longer the underdog. He's the man who is the superstar who will help carry AEW into the future and help usher in new guys and help usher in the young talent over there. For instance, I said, Darby Allin. Another match that he had was with what's his face, the wild pit bull of Yonkers, New York, Eddie Kingston, the Mad King.
Oh my God, that was such a bloodbath. That was crazy. That was personal. That felt raw. That felt to the point.
Right? And it was maddening. And then from there, CM Punk had also gotten to challenge the AEW World Champion, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. And in a series of different matches back and forth, it turned out to be it was the dog collar match where he beat him, wasn't it?
Yes, MJF got the first win over CM Punk in Chicago, mind you.
curse it and like CM Punk never loses in Chicago. This is a travesty. How could he ever surpass it? And then they went up and close and personal. It was at Full Gear, right?
No, it was at AEW Revolution.
Revolution, that's right. AEW Revolution 2022, and that would be the glory of, holy cow, they were in a dog collar match where they were literally collared and they had what? 15-foot-long chain connecting the two, so they couldn't escape, and it was a bloodbath, it was a brawl, and MJF, he's like this young, up-and-coming, chiseled, super Jewish dude of awesome musculature and an ego to boot. And lo and behold, not even his mighty strength, not even his lackey like Wardlow, who's also a beefy dude, like his bodyguard, not even that could defeat CM Punk when he's chained up and actually backed into a corner that made him dangerous, kind of thing.
Are you kidding me? Wardlow betrayed MJF.
Yep, exactly. He's like, you know, I don't, look, man, I just work here. I don't even need this job no more. Just walked off like, nope. Like, listen, buddy, I'm out. Just for the record, I quit. Like, what's his name, Spider-Punk.
But that said,
oh, real quick. I'm actually double checking the chat. I'm seeing here, Jingles is saying he actually likes Jon Moxley. Well, Jon Moxley's a nice dude. He's crazy. He wants to drink the blood of his enemies. He's got a little punch card on there for like how many times he gets like a free pint from the American Red Cross. And once he fills it out, buy 9 pints, get the 10th pint free. He's up to number 9 right now.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Moxley.
I was talking about MJF. I was saying the rivalry with MJF helped MJF's stock.
Oh, absolutely. I was bringing that up because I'm checking out the chat. Jingles, the Christmas elf, likes Jon Moxley. And he says, as much as I like MJF, he needs to evolve. His character is getting stale. You're not wrong. It's time for MJF to start trying new things with himself. Let's see here. Also, we have Samuel J in the chat. Hey, up there, Samuel J. Welcome to the Black Files. It says, I'm excited for CM Punk versus Austin Theory at WrestleMania.
I mean, haha, very funny, dork.
I see what
Anyways, yeah.
Also, I'm double checking the rest of the chat here. Let's see here. Nikki Bella said, I played a new game. I played Diablo. Don't you mean Diablo 4? Diablo 5 hasn't been made yet on their PS5, and it says Angel would like it. I hope so. Let's see here. Is the Green Knight Dragon even asked, so is CM Punk being fired a reoccurring thing throughout his career? Not exactly. That's just recently here, which is maddening. But being fired from WWE and then what happened with All Elite Wrestling,
which we're gonna get to in just a bit, folks.
We will get to, yes. Let's see. And Matthew Coburn also brought something else up. Zack Snyder in the news saying that he does not regret having worked with Amber Turd, and that he would definitely work with her again. I'm like, he really doesn't pay attention to shit, does he?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna be talking about certain pieces of shits on tonight's topic. Let's not add Zack Snyder to the list right now.
Yeah. Let's see here. A-Town down. God dang it, Samuel J.
All right, but we do need...
saying, I want to see Jack Perry and Hook get some screen time. I feel like Jack Perry and Hook have the makings of future stars. Well, Jack Perry got himself suspended for the fight that got CM Punk thrown out of AEW, which we're going to cover over here momentarily. So yeah, he had his matches in AEW. He beat MJF to become the AEW World Champion. The next day,
No, wait, Blancho, hang on a minute. What do you mean he beat MJF? Who? CM Punk? No, he didn't beat him for the title.
No, he did beat him in the dog collar match though. Also,
he beat him in the dog collar match.
Hey up, Aaron Cooper. Welcome to the Black.
Yeah. Here, let me help you out. After the program with MJF has wrapped up, CM Punk has made his intentions very clear that he's going after the AEW World Championship, and that's when he started his rivalry with Hangman Adam Page, heading to AEW's Double or Nothing 2022, and that's when
I got it. My bad. I got them two mixed up. I'm sorry. You are right.
You're fine. But that was the pivotal point. That's when things started going downhill.
it was very odd, and no one understood why when it came to the actual promos. But it turned out. Let me see here. It turned out that apparently in one of the promos leading up to their fight for the World Championship, Hangman Adam Page decided to take liberties in the promo by making references to like a backstage rumor or backstage politicking, saying that CM Punk was trying to get Colt Cabana fired from All Elite Wrestling, which nothing could be further from the truth. And he even he was even making freaking references of like saying like, oh, you talk about workers' rights, you talk about wrestlers' rights, but you're all talk and you don't actually believe in any of that. So I'm not defending the championship against you. I'm gonna be defending All Elite Wrestling from you. Like
That
what?
was that was ridiculous. That was immature. At that time period, we were hearing about more rumors of stories of like infighting between CM Punk and other members of the AEW roster. Like these stories kept popping up during that time period, and they were embarrassing for the promotion. Like, come on, guys.
And supposedly, Hangman Adam Page was one of the pillars of All Elite Wrestling, is his foundation. And with him being an AEW World Champion, he was the third AEW champion, isn't he?
Who? Hangman Adam Page?
Yeah, like
He was the fourth. There was Chris Jericho,
right,
then Moxley,
and then
Kenny
Kenny,
Omega,
and then Hangman. Got it. Okay, all right. So like, he's got some cachet in terms of experience and trying to hold himself to a higher standard. When you're the AEW, when you're the main champion of a company, that means that you're supposed to help set an example for everyone in the locker room of not only how to behave for the people and how to present yourself as a champion, as a fighting champion, and all that stuff, but also looking for like you have people in the locker room in the back to look to you for setting an example of behavior backstage and how to settle problems. And instead of actually trying to settle problems like a mature adult backstage, like grown-ups, like, hey, look, do we got beef? Do we have to actually settle something? He decides to drag it out in front of television. He decides to try to trot it out and make these stealthy jabs at CM Punk to his face on national television, to which Punk had actually responded like, I don't know exactly what the hell you're trying to say here, but let's try to keep this straight, shall we? Okay, we're here at the fight, and try to bring everything back on track to the actual fight, to the actual storyline and everything.
Yeah. And then, of course, AEW Double or Nothing 2022 happened. CM Punk has beat Hangman Adam Page to be crowned as the 5th AEW World Championship. And then the following week, and then a couple days later, the AEW World Champion. And then a couple days later the week afterwards on AEW Dynamite, CM Punk had to step back because he actually suffered an injury at Double or Nothing. Now
he hurt himself by accident and had to sit out and convalesce, and in the meantime they were going to have an interim champion. So go ahead and say.
Yep. And then we fast forward all the way to August of 2022. CM Punk made his return to AEW television as still undefeated as the AEW World Champion, and Jon Moxley was the AEW interim World Champion. Now, this is important. On the August 17th edition of AEW Dynamite, CM Punk actually was supposed to have like a promo segment with Jon Moxley, but before he could get to that, he actually took time to call out Hangman Adam Page for a one-on-one fight for the title, and which, Hangman Adam Page wasn't scheduled for anything, so it made him look bad.
Yeah, no, he went ahead and was like, okay. Punk's response on that was basically his way of saying, all right, you want to try to air our dirty laundry out here in public. Okay, fine. No one else wants to behave like an adult. Let's see how well you play when I play dirty, when I play the way you do. Let's see how that goes. I'll call you out in front of the whole world so we can actually hash this out. Oh, you're not actually supposed to be here? Oh, you don't actually have a way to be coming out? I guess that means you're a dipshit. I guess that means you're a freaking coward. And what was the phrase that he said? Like, to remember that the apology has to be as loud as the insult.
Yep, that has to be as loud as your disrespect.
As the disrespect. Yeah, that was the word. So then
Yeah,
he went
definitely.
into like, okay, now that I got that meaningless crap out of the way, let's actually get to what really matters and talk about have his promo with Moxley. Moxley and
Yeah,
Punk
that retaliation strike. Yeah, that retaliation from CM Punk to Hangman Adam Page, that would have been lost on all of us. Like if it weren't for like CM, like well, actually let me rephrase that. The promo that Hangman cut, where he went to business for himself, like none of us would have understood what was going on if it wasn't for CM Punk ish firing back.
Exactly. And I do actually need to take a moment as I continue on with, if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, no worries. So then we fast forward to September 3rd, 2022, AEW All Out back in Chicago, Illinois at the United Center. CM Punk had successfully defeated Jon Moxley to capture the AEW World Title. And then after that was done and over with, like around that time, CM Punk thought that that the Elite, which is Kenny Omega and Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Adam Page, the Elite, were actually trying to conspire against him and spreading all these rumors behind his back, all these stories about CM Punk and all these derogatory remarks. So CM Punk, coming fresh out of his title victory and injured, bloodied, hurt, he has decided, like he took to the people and sat down at the AEW All Out Media Scrum in 2022, and he had bullets in the chamber, and he unloaded everything.
It was a nightmare of glorious and epic proportions. That was the AEW All Out 2022 Scrum incident, in which right next to Tony Khan himself, it decided to run down all of Tony Khan's lack of leadership, the lack of maturity of the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, like saying these immature people who call themselves EVPs, and that was like like I said, a thing to behold. It was 20 some odd minutes of uncensored, uncompromising pipe bombing in real life. Not for a storyline, not for a show, not for a match, but IRL, and it was insane. I'm even looking back, like Denise Salcedo's video of it from Fightful Select.
Yeah, like how many views has it gotten now?
Oh my God, it was put up a year ago. It's got nearly it's got 1,941,228 views as of September 5th, 2022. Holy shit.
Hey, you know what, Juancho? If you want, you could share that link on the live chat so that if people want to watch it for reference, they can have a look at it.
All right, on their own time, on their own dime, they're more than welcome to check this out. I will share that. Give me a few moments. Wrong thingy. Undo. Copy. There we go. Haha. I know what I'm doing. So
no, you're fine. So after saying his piece and after eating a couple of pieces of Mindy's muffins,
like Mindy's muffins in Chicago got a plug, along with like store brand sugar-free Sprite or something, I guess.
Yeah. He went back into his locker room, and then the brawl out happened.
We had discussed the brawl out incident to no end. Basically, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks had, depending on which version of the story you believe, either appeared in the locker room of Punk or barged in and kicked the door down, depending on which side you listen to. And they have a confrontation, heated words, heated argument, fists were thrown, a doggy was injured, Kenny Omega was bitten by Ace Steel, chairs were thrown, like I said, people were punched, and everyone was either fired or terminated who was involved in that, including CM Punk himself being suspended, like not fired or terminated, fired or suspended. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks were suspended. Ace Steel was fired outright. And another person who was involved was Mega Parekh, the chief legal officer of chief legal advisor of All Elite Wrestling, right?
That's right. She's the chief legal officer. You were right the first time.
Yeah. And it was Mega Parekh. Yeah, that's her name. And apparently she's been a longtime friend of the Khan family, and she, until very recently, has been working for AEW's like legal team, and she was like the number 2 of the company, basically. I don't even know how the hell that figures out, but whatever.
Yeah.
So,
It was, and yeah, it was insane. And between then and the summer of 2023, AEW has worked really hard to try to rebuild their image following the incident at All Out. And we've been hearing rumors and speculations that during that time that apparently like CM Punk is done with AEW, that AEW is trying to negotiate some sort of contract buyout.
Like, look at this. It was Jose sent me this blasted article from last year. Hang on, looking for it. No, there's the one from WrestlingInc.com. Yeah. Wait, no, that was the All Out Brawl. Let me see, where is it? Okay, this is the one. SI. AEW report working on CM Punk contract buyout after All Out Brawl. I'll go ahead and I'll share that with you guys so you can read that here yourselves. And yeah, that's from Sports Illustrated. Putting it simply, yeah, from this article written by Joseph Courier from Wrestling Observer from October 22nd last year, 2022. Yep. CM Punk's time with AEW could be nearing an end. Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer reported on Friday that AEW and Punk are in talks regarding a buyout of Punk's contract. Punk's AEW future has been in doubt since his involvement in a backstage fight that took place after September's All Out pay-per-view. So that was September of last year. So then a month later, that's where this article came out. AEW's in talk with Punk about the future, but right now it looks like doubtful he'll be back. Those with the close knowledge of the situation said they're in talks with Punk about a buyout of the remaining years of his contract, which tells you that they're not looking to bring him back. The holdup right now is said to be the non-compete period. Obviously, the non-compete is an issue. It's about interest in going to WWE because there's no need for a non-compete otherwise, because nobody else but AEW and WWE can pay Punk close to what he's making. This is all from Dave Meltzer, so even to
take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. I mean, if that did happen, like honestly, like that would have nipped it in the butt, because like what else can you do with CM Punk at that point? Just grant him, give him the contract buyout, and if he goes to WWE, then he goes to WWE.
Yeah, but he goes to WWE as one of the hottest tickets in the entire world, and he freaking gets the last laugh because he got paid, and then he goes to work again for the biggest competitor of AEW. But obviously they didn't want to do that, so they held on to him. And that's when we had the announcement of AEW Collision. That was going to be a brand new program, and it looked like CM Punk was actually slated to be the star attraction of that show. So AEW Collision debuted when, Jose?
On June 17th, 2023, Saturday.
So just this past June over here. And that was
at the United Center in Chicago.
Yep, and of course that's where it was called. They had the event call it the Second Dance, and it was insane. But CM Punk came back, and he was moody, to say the least. He took off the microphone logo flag of AEW and laid into everyone, saying, "No, I'm here. I'm gonna make AEW great. I'm gonna make Collision the must-see show." And he had him on him a velvet bag. What's in the bag? We don't know. Why did he bring a bag with him? What is in the bag? Is it more muffins? I doubt that. Why would you carry carry muffins in that kind of bag? I wouldn't, but maybe he would. But that's not what actually happened. We'll continue. I want muffins.
I'll keep that on the list of snackage for this weekend. But let's go.
I want muffins.
Juan, are you okay over
I
there?
want muffins. Continue, Jose, please.
All right. So yes, CM Punk return on June 17th edition of AEW Collision on the debut. It's in Chicago, Illinois, and CM Punk once again had some bullets to unload. Now he didn't make direct shots at Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks or Hangman Adam Page or Tony Khan or anybody, but when he did cut his promo and he did make some very, very remarks to which, if we didn't know anything about what goes on behind the scenes with WWE, that would have been lost on us. I mean, on AEW, that would have been lost on many.
It's like, I'm the only real moneymaker in a world of counterfeit bucks.
Oh yeah, he did. He commented saying that the CEO of Warner Media Discovery, David Zaslav, is a fan of CM Punk and actually called him One Bill Phil. Man, could you imagine that crazy asshole David Zaslav being a fan of CM Punk?
Like, Jose, listen, let's not lie to ourselves over here. I'm 99% certain that Punk just name dropped David Zaslav, so that Zaslav would be trending or whatever, and B, to use it as a shot against the Elite.
I can't help but draw a comparison. It kind of reminds me of like the couple of times that freaking Hulk Hogan name dropped Ted Turner during the WCW years.
Yeah, no, I remember, like, billionaire Ted, you can take this job and you can stick it, brother. Oh, wait, that wasn't what he meant. Or was it, Jose? Let's continue. So,
all right. So yeah, he did do the counter. Yeah, he did call the Young Bucks counterfeit bucks. I mean, we all get it. And he also made another statement saying that, like, hey, listen, I'm sorry that the only people softer than you are the wrestlers that you like.
Wow. No, yeah, no, and that was him selling that to people booing him or whatever. If you're over here and you don't like me, I'm sorry that you're softer than the wrestlers that you like. That the only people who are softer than you are the wrestlers you like. I'm like, that was like fire. He was not holding back anymore. This is one of the issues with CM Punk. He can be very opinionated, but in the wrong environment, he is a danger. And that is what people were really pissed off about, because he was going off and he was throwing haymakers left and right while the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega were doing their little play things of like, hey, Punk's this little guy or whatever, and fucking making fun of him on being the Elite. And making fun of him on they returned 2 months after the suspension, while CM Punk was suspended the entire time, right?
That's right. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks returned at AEW Full Gear in November 2023.
Yeah, it was like they did Carry On My Wayward Son. Like, oh, look, they had this stupid promo of like, oh, you can't have all Elite wrestling without the Elite. You guys.
Yes, Marco, you don't need to have that meltdown again.
Oh no, I'm not having a meltdown. I'm just paraphrasing the pettiness and the childishness of how the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega comport themselves. If you're in any kind of position of authority or any kind of position of being like someone you can call yourself like a founder of this wrestling promotion, then you fucking behave yourself. You keep your ego in fucking check. You put the work and of the folks under you and the folks around you ahead of your own personal ego. And if that means, like, what's his face? There's one thing that fucking Vince McMahon had apparently, and this is secondhand by way of Jim Cornette, saying, like, in this business, sometimes you have to learn to eat shit and like the taste of it. And that, like, when it comes to, like, hey, if, like, do I want to make money in this business? And do I want this business to be successful, or do I want to be surrounded by all my buddies and shit and have ourselves our little high school cliques? And apparently, the Elite decided to go with the latter, even though because they have the former already set. Because Tony Khan doesn't know how to say no. Here, take all my money. Please be my friend forever.
Yeah, and Tony Khan and AEW thought that, you know, bringing CM Punk back and just keeping him on an island to himself in Collision, they thought that it was going to work.
You're not wrong. They thought it was going to work out. What's her face? Aaron Cooper is saying, really? Let me take a look over here. I'm gonna skip this ad. I have the auto ads running, by the way, backstage on YouTube Studio. I'm trying it out because I want to make sure that it'll help out with the way we run stuff. And yeah, you're right, Aaron Cooper. Really, that's how they run their shit. They run their promotion like a best friends club. And if you're not one of the cool kids, you don't matter. You're not gonna be on TV. You're not gonna be featured. You're not going to be promoted as much. Why do you think Sunny Kiss isn't in there anymore? Why do you think QT Marshall is leaving? Why do you think you've got people actually leaving AEW? Because it's insane. Also, Jingles was also saying here, since he loves Hook, but Hook, he has the makings to be the star that his father never could be. Am I wrong about Hook, that he has the ability to be the star his father never could be? No, I don't think he's wrong. Send Hook. Hook is a badass. He's skinny, but he's lean. He's got a mop top, but he's got a pretty face. And he's also a murder machine boy thing. He's very dainty, but he's a Bishi boy who can choke you to death. And
he was awesome, and he had a great undefeated streak, and then they killed it.
By who? Who broke it?
By having him lose to, I forgot who he lost to, but it just wasn't the same, because now he's teaming up with Orange Cassidy, and they're doing whatever the hell they're doing.
Let me see here. Sound Mind just popped into the chat. Hello there, Sound Mind. Welcome to the Black Files. They ask, have you seen Hook suplex Cass? As in, Big Bill? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I know I haven't seen it, but I don't doubt that he could do it.
Yeah, but getting back to the subject of CM Punk, apparently during the time period when Punk was away before he came back on Collision, apparently from CM Punk's side, they sent out a legal letter to AEW warning the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, not to say anything disparaging, because apparently the Young Bucks made some reference to CM Punk on their YouTube show being the Elite.
Right. Fucking little cowards over here. This was updated. Okay. I'm actually trying to find the initial post date on that, but it's not on here. What the hell, Wrestling?
No, you're fine.
The Wrestling Inc. article. This is from May of this year. I'm gonna share that to you so folks can see what Jose is referring to. The headline on there reads. This looks a little sloppy. Yeah, look, CM Punk. He's got a nice little headshot here. CM Punk and others reportedly signed NDAs regarding AEW All Out Brawl. Oh. It's gotten juicy. It's gotten that bad. By Danny Walstenholm. Walstenholm. That is a cool name, but I fear getting it wrong. Okay, CM Punk and his friend Ace Steel were reportedly involved in the scuffles. According to this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, Punk and AEW CEO Tony Khan made an agreement which involved both parties and key participants, quote unquote, in the brawl, signing NDAs preventing them from speaking publicly about the incident. The Punk-Khan deal also supposedly involved, quote, things protecting AEW legally against Punk walking out on the company. It said that everyone involved in the situation ended up on the same page. This was posted back in May of this year, guys. May.
Yeah.
We're steamrolling through this whole timeline here.
Now, something I want to ask you, Juancho, before we continue. So we know that, CM Punk and the Elite, they all signed NDAs, right? To not say anything disparaging against each other following All Out, right? So, yeah. So would you say that CM Punk's shots at AEW Collision on the first show, would you say that that it could be like a violation of the NDA, of the non-disclosure agreement?
If it was a violation, it was a response in violation because the Elite and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega were making references to it in the middle of their return match at Full Gear. Do you remember? They were trying to do references of he's gonna freaking do the GTS and bunch of buckshot lariat and and Kenny Omega biting someone.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, no. So, anyone say but Punk started shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's okay for the Punk for the Elite to make those references, and it's okay for them to antagonize CM Punk while he's still at home suspended. But if Punk says something, all of a sudden he's the bad guy.
No, I get what you're saying, Joe. I get what you're saying. I just wanted to bring that.
I'm speaking to those who would be brandishing the banner on behalf of the Elite. The folks who would be defending the Elite for all this, like, oh well, Punk should know better because then he's like, because he's started. He's literally responding. He wanted to do good. They wanted to be shitheads, so he's being the shithead right back at them, and they apparently can't take the taste of their own medicine. It's messed up. But, you know, you give what you get when it comes to Punk. You give back what you get from him. Like, rather, you get back what you give to him. Like, hey, what did he say in that one podcast? You're nice to me, I'm nice to you. If you're rude to me, I'll be fucking rude to you.
Exactly.
And that was over a fan trying to demand a picture of CM Punk years ago while he was out on a hockey game with AJ Lee. And some fan was shouting like, "Hey Phil, can I get a picture?" while they were in line trying to get food.
Yeah, that was very asshole. Don't ever do that don't ever do that
to
folks.
people. And I'm sorry, minor aside, I remember seeing last week a video of Asuka from the WWE being swarmed by a bunch of WWE fans with merchandise on them, like surrounding her, trying to get autographs from her. And these motherfuckers are clearly trying to get merch that they're going to sell on eBay. And she's autographing it because, like, oh, hey, now you're nice. You're good fans. And, like, motherfuckers, don't do that. Don't be sleazy. Come up respectfully and do it one at a time. And don't do it just to try to make a buck off of the person. Come on, man. Don't be an asshole. Especially not to Asuka.
Exactly. Now, heading to AEW All In, this great historical event.
Oh, yeah,
on
with
August 27th.
79,000 instead of 81,000 people.
Yeah, heading to that event, there have been stories coming out that CM Punk has been kicking certain AEW wrestlers from Collision. He kicked out Matt Hardy, he kicked out Ryan Nemeth, who's a real life brother of former ex WWE wrestler Dolph Ziggler. There have been reports that that's been happening, and then there were reports that there was some sort of argument, a debate between CM Punk and Jack Perry, who's wrestling for AEW, and he's the son of the late celebrity Luke Perry.
Yeah, so we're coming back to how we started off on how CM Punk was removed and fired from AEW and was fired with cause. So we've come back around to where we're at. Like Jungle Boy, he's a buddy of the Elites, and he was in the roster for AEW Collision, and he was saying like, "Hey, dude, I want to do the spot where we're gonna go through a real glass window." It was Jungle Boy against who was it?
Jungle Boy against Hook.
Yeah, it was Hook. Yeah, Jungle Hook was breaking up, and it was for the FTW Championship, right?
That's right.
And that's where fucking Jack Perry, he decided to, while in the middle of the match, they had like a London cab as part of the set dressing, and right into the camera, he's like smacks the windshield, like, "You see that? Real glass! Cry me a river!" And then he fucking suplexes Jungle Hook into the windshield. One thing that he doesn't fucking remember, or maybe he doesn't know because he's a fucking doofus. I don't know. I don't know if Jack Perry is that stupid, but if he is, I wouldn't be surprised. Windshields for automobiles are laminated. That's how they like the back window for a car. That's pure sheet glass, and if it shatters, it shatters. But a windshield, the front windshield, is double laminated on both sides. So number one, it's like a little bit safer. But it's still like, really, dude, you're gonna do this kind of fucking shit to me while we're in London in the biggest stage that AEW has ever done, and like you're really gonna bring this shit up because I shot you down on an idea of you hurting yourself and Hook with real glass instead of using like stunt glass or sugar glass to preserve your careers so you don't kill yourselves and have fucking embedded pieces of shrapnel all over yourself for the rest of your life? Yeah, sure. You go ahead, buddy. But I digress. Jack Perry does that into a camera to the whole world who's watching. And it's not even a match that's in the All-In show. It's in the pre-show.
Yeah, it's in the kickoff.
Yeah, the all-in cock-off. Anyway, so then the very first match of AEW, right before All In begins, and CM Punk and Samoa Joe are backstage at the gorilla position, which is the production like table and desk area right by the entrance, and Tony Khan was right there. So Jack Perry comes back at the end of the match, and Punk and Perry have their confrontation. Like, what? You have a fucking problem, man? Yo, man, you know what I said. You know, you know what I said. And that's where they fucking threw down. Punk choked out Perry. Tony Khan lost his fifis and his wee wee, went pee pee, blah blah blah, boopy, and Punk was like this close from saying, "Fuck this. I'm leaving now. I'm not gonna come back. I'm not doing this show. Fuck you." After mistreating me, after the way you run this show, and it took Samoa Joe of all people to calm him down. Like, listen, let's fucking take care of this. Let's do this business, and then let's fucking go, and then we'll deal with it afterwards. Punk and Samoa Joe had their match. If you didn't know that there was a problem, you would have never known. And then Punk,
and that whole situation was so fucking awful, man. Like, and I think we've talked about this. We talked about this on the Black Files. Like, I know we're fans of CM Punk, but we have to be honest, Wancho. Like, there was no innocent party during this whole situation.
You're not wrong. I'm not above calling out a person I look up to if they're doing something I personally believe is wrong or ill-informed or acting in the heat of passion in the heat of the moment. Tensions run high. The shit gets extremely tense, especially if you're being dogpiled constantly, not only by fellow talent and guys who put themselves in positions of power in the company and are clearly abusing that power just for the sake of it, but also being let down by the ineffectual lack of leadership from the owner / general manager / president / booker / head creative / the specialist boy. Look at me at all my fancy friends that I bought. Have worked for me. Tony Khan.
Yeah, no. Tony Khan.
Sorry.
Tony Khan.
I wasn't finished. I was trying to say it's just as much a result of the failure of Tony Khan's ability to actually wrangle in his talent and wrangle in the people that work with him, that work under him, as it is the elite being little high school pricks. And Jack Perry being buddy with them, trying to take his little jabs at CM Punk because he thinks he can get away with it.
Yeah, exactly. And between Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and Tony Khan, they allowed this whole culture, this locker room culture with all the drama and everything to fester.
You're right.
Into the way it was.
And that wasn't the only thing that was going on. You had other folks having backstage fights as well. There was Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa having confrontations in the backstage, which is why Thunder Rosa hasn't been seen in a long time. You had
Sammy Guevara and Andrade El Idolo.
Yeah, Andrade El Idolo hasn't been seen for forever, and he's basically being paid to stay home. Over what? Because Sammy Guevara and him have fights and have arguments or whatever, and Tony Khan fucking told him one time, like, listen, you guys have another fight, I'm sending you home. Oh, are you going to fire me? No, I'm just going to send you home, suspending you. So you're going to send me home. You're not going to fire me? I'm still getting paid? Bye. Fuck Sammy Guevara. Pops him in the mouth or whatever, and then leaves. Fucking, yeah, sure. If you're going to be ineffectual in how you lead your company or how you run your company, then you're going to have people take advantage of it. Because he's clearly a pushover. Now, quote that shit. Quote me on it. I don't give a damn.
No. I am quoting you on that one, so you're good. You're good. No, and then after that whole mess was gone, on the first week of September, Tony Khan actually addressed it on. First, he addressed it live when the cameras were off. He addressed it live at the Chicago crowd. Before on the first weekend of September, and he tried to apologize to the Chicago fans who really hated Tony Khan.
Oh, hate is too nice of a word. I think they were 5 seconds away from lighting the seats of the arena on fire and causing a riot. They were that pissed off. I actually want to see if there's actually, let me see. Let's see.
I mean, you can find the video. I think somebody posted a video on their mobile phone, so you might not get a good audio from it. But he did say that, and then he later put out a video and put it on TV announcing that CM Punk was fired with cause. I say in quotations.
Yeah,
well,
no.
you can't see it.
Yeah, no, that was clearly legal speak, and that was clearly fucking his way of trying to cover his ass on there, and that was a nightmare of their own making. And like, here's a freaking thing: Tony Khan himself, I'll send you guys. This is just 2 months ago, September 2nd. Oh my god, all this shit happening so fast. Yeah, this is someone's video. Yeah, Tony Khan's life was in danger. Oh my god, he was so endangered and his life was threatened by Punk having an argument and getting pissed off with Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Because, yeah, in Tony's life, he's the one who's in danger, and he was feeling threatened for his life. That's legal speak for, oh, I never saw a man actually get angry and violent properly before in my life, and I find that personally threatening, so I'm firing him. And get a load of this, there's even like freaking reports that are only now coming out. I'm going to share them from what you showed me, Jose, because God almighty, damn it all to hell, and heaven and earth, and all deities who run or don't run the world itself. This was from Fightful Select. It was a 3-minute read. The headline of it reads, This screams of passing the buck. This screams of shifting the blame, guys. Bryan Danielson headed up disciplinary committee that terminated CM Punk. CM Punk was terminated by AEW following a situation at AEW All Out by a quickly developed discipline committee, and we've learned more largely because of a tweet that may have referenced it. Recently, Fightful revealed that a long-rumored member of the committee, Megha Parekh, had actually stepped back from a lot of her duties as chief legal officer by that time and actually had nothing to do with the committee. We've since learned that AEW General Counsel Chris Peck, who assumed many of her responsibilities, was a part of the 3-person committee along with an outside attorney. From there, the thing continues. Let's see here. However, there is also one long-respected member of the AEW talent roster that was involved in Bryan Danielson. When asking sources on the AEW roster about his inclusion, one called him an, quote, appropriate moral compass who exemplifies objectivity, unquote, and said that he effectively headed up and was the face of the disciplinary committee. Danielson was said to have spoken to the roster when addressing them about Punk's termination and noted that the decision was a particularly hard one. He cited that the positives that Punk that's brought and his long-standing friendship with Punk, but said that it was the decision that had to be made. On November 27th, which was 2 days ago, Danielson tweeted, "My dad always told me the right thing is often the hardest thing to do. It won't make the most money. It won't always make the most money, but it won't always be the most popular, but it's still the right thing." We're told that Danielson said when that's what Danielson said when speaking to talent at the meetings months before. We weren't given any indication regarding the decision-making process that occurred by the disciplinary committee. Those that we spoke to say they believe CM Punk was aware by now that Danielson was a part of said committee, as many of his friends were included in the meeting where Danielson addressed them. This is a continued duty for Danielson, as he's also responsible for handing out fines when necessary. CM Punk returned to WWE this past weekend. Yeah, this is all from Fightful. Thank you, Jose, for bringing me that. So this is came out only when was it? Today?
Yes.
Does this or does this not sound like a PR move in order to in order to try to shift the responsibility and the blame away from Tony Khan to, oh, Bryan Danielson's the one who's really responsible for getting CM Punk fired, because he's the one who really did it. Like, he was the one who had the ultimate decision. Like, no, He was one of 3 people who basically gave the recommendation, like, yeah, no, we weighed the pros and the cons, and it's our judgment that CM Punk should be terminated from AEW. At the end of the day, who still has the go, no-go vote?
Tony Khan.
The specialist boy himself, the snowman, the coked-out dweeb himself, Tony fucking Khan. If he didn't, then none of it would fucking work. But then again, none of it does work because he doesn't enforce anything, because he doesn't like pissing off his talent, because he wants them to be his friend.
Yeah, it's once again, just showing how ineffective Tony Khan is as the owner of All Elite Wrestling.
No, he's fine as an owner. He's not fine as CEO, president, and executive producer, and general manager, and chief and head booker, and whatever. Mustard.
So he's not as an actual authority figure.
Yeah, no, he doesn't know how to be a proper authority figure. He only knows that he's got a bottomless wallet from him and his daddy. And he knows that he loves wrestling, so he's gonna book wrestling like kids playing with their action figures. Yeah, cool! I've got the Sting action figure, and he's gonna retire. Let's give him a friend. I bought a Ric Flair action figure. Woo, woo, woo! Yay, woo, energy, mushroom drinks. Jesus Christ.
But, oh my God, to this day, like, I'm still freaking riddled. Like, how do you make that poor choice of bringing Ric Flair, considering what we know about him?
Helicopter dick. Anyway, that's not the point. And then he got, and then Tony Khan got wrangled in with the Ric Flair's woo energy bullcrap. Because he can't say no. He doesn't know how to say no to people.
Yeah, no, exactly. And yeah, no. And then, of course, CM Punk returning at Survivor Series on November 25th at the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois, which, by the way, fun history fact, Wancho, that is the same arena where CM Punk won the WWE title from John Cena at Money in the Bank 2011.
Of course. That was the one that set him up after his infamous pipe bomb promo. The match between Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank 2011 is it's like such a good textbook standard match that was good, and you can understand the flow of the story. You can understand, they're targeting this body part over here. Cena is trying different things in his arsenal to try to stop Punk. Punk is taking different risks, and Punk grabs an opportunity. He hits Cena with the GTS, pins, wins, grabs the belt, blows Vince a kiss goodbye, and waves and runs away in the crowd with the WWE Championship in hand when his contract expired at that point, which was so beautiful. Lightning in a bottle.
It was so beautiful. And you know what? The magic came back with CM Punk returning to WWE. And when Triple H was asked about it during the Survivor Series press conference following the show, Triple H said it pretty simple and forward. Like, hey man, people changed, and not just and I don't remember the exact words, but he said that people change, and the promotion and WWE has also changed.
If you're the same person that you were 10 years ago, and you haven't changed and you haven't evolved, then you've done something wrong. Well, you messed up somewhere. I'm actually trying to pull up an article from Forbes. Yeah, this is how big it's gotten. It's on Forbes, people. Sweet Jesus jumped up God in heaven and earth.
Apparently CM Punk was contacted by Triple H. I think it was probably a week before Survivor Series.
Right, and that's how things became bananas, and that's how CM Punk made his way back into the WWE in, like I said, a lightning in a bottle moment over here. I'm trying to find Yeah, Triple H comments and fans' reactions to CM Punk return. Where is it? I'm trying to actually find a thing. It's buried under all this.
No, go ahead. You keep finding it. Oh, okay.
Okay. Here we go. And this is from the Forbes article. I will share that link for you fine folks to be able to read on your own time, on your own dime. Where is it? Bleep and bleep. There you go. Stop it. There we go. Okay, so I'm just cutting to where the actual article itself goes. Give me just a moment. Let me fix my
You're fine.
window.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let's see here. And Triple H is quoted, everybody grows, everybody changes. I'm a different person, he's a different person, this is a different company. What's next for CM Punk? That'll be interesting, won't it? Let's see. We're incredibly excited about it. It's been a long time in some ways, but a long time. But in some ways, but a long time coming. You can say this about CM Punk: love him, hate him, positive or negative, whatever you want to say. People talk about him all the time. He is a magnet for that. He's a conversation starter, and it's tough to look past that. And for me, if our fans want it, if the WWE universe is excited to have it, then let's go. This came together super quick, which is I'm sure is why it stayed very tight. There was a lot of speculation at that point. It was nothing but speculation for most of the time. It was speculation. It didn't really start to come to fruition until everybody stopped thinking it was going to happen, and then all of a sudden, it was happening. He was basically just saying like, yo, we just rushed into this, like, okay, we're actually doing this. Oh god. Okay, contract, fans of the league. The one thing that I'm actually wanting to, this is me putting on my tinfoil hat. I don't have a tinfoil hat. Say, where'd you believe the tinfoil?
I didn't make a tinfoil hat for you. You never asked about it.
How dare you? You must anticipate all my needs.
Just imagine that you have one. Use your imagination.
Hold on.
Oh my god. Do you need to borrow my beanie?
No, I'll just borrow this. I don't know what this is.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, it's one of these thingies. So let me just do that and push my hair back.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
There you go.
So here's my brain theory. Okay, this just looks silly. All right. The idea I'm thinking of what actually ended up happening was with Triple H actually being like this chief arbiter of being able to talk to talent as being part of the chief creative officer for the WWE. A lot of the talking of how Punk should be brought in was definitely between him and Punk. Because at first the conversation must have started like, okay, let's get the shit out of the way. You want me to, like, I want to make money. You want to make money. You can make money with me. And everyone knows what I'm capable of. Yeah, everyone knows what you're capable of, Punk. We saw that you caused chaos and havoc and all this stuff in AEW. What's all that about? Do you really honestly believe half the horseshit these guys are saying, or are you gonna take the word of dirt sheets and gossip mongers, or are you gonna take the word of a guy who, even to your face, I've told you the truth. I have told you like how I feel about shit, and even when you didn't like me, when you really didn't like me, I wouldn't lie to you. Like, what was the thing that he told Triple H back when he left in 2014? With all due respect, Hunter, I don't need to wrestle you. You need to wrestle me.
Yes.
Like, in order for Triple H to have a storyline and all that back then, that was supposed to be the idea for it. But you like, as like, you know, like like jaw clenching and pissing off, Triple H in that time has grown, and he has actually become a person who will advocate for the company before himself and before his own biases, and like, okay, no, you're right. All right, well, you've never really lied to me, and I know that you're a man of your word. You pride yourself in that. I'm not gonna fucking doubt that. So let's talk business. Let's talk turkey. How much you looking for? What are we gonna do? And Punk would actually have taken that and said, "We'll talk turkey in a minute. We'll leave that between you and Nick Khan to throw the money my way. You come up with the right number, and I'll come out." What I want to discuss with you, Hunter, is what do I do when I get there? Am I going to be feuding with Roman Reigns, or am I feuding with Seth Rollins? Am I going to be taking on the Judgment Day? Am I going to be taking on everyone's favorite buddies, the Alpha Academy, and tearing them down as heel? How do you want me to present? And I will do that, and I'll present myself, and I'll give you guys an idea. So I'm guessing that the majority of the talk between Hunter and Punk is likely them doing creative, them doing booking, them coming up with stuff. Punk had actually gone on record one time, said once when he was on SmackDown, in like what 2009, 2010 or whatever.
Yeah.
He came to Vince McMahon with handwritten notes of what he's gonna do in terms of like creative, because they had nothing going on for him. And it's like, listen, I don't know if you're actually even gonna read this, but this is the stuff that I'm gonna try to do to help give you guys ratings. I'm gonna go ahead and check this out. You guys have nothing for me. This is what I'm gonna do. Cool, break. Because at that point he was at such a low amount of faith in what they were going to try to do with him in terms of like creative and all that stuff, because like being stuck with nothing to do is like the worst fucking thing to anyone at that kind of level. He's clearly a workaholic. He's clearly a guy who wants to like put on the best he could do, but if he's not given anything to work with, what the fuck is he supposed to do? You know?
Exactly.
It's like, okay, I have here a I have a Duracell battery. Sell me this Duracell battery. Okay. I'll sell you this Duracell battery. Well, Duracell batteries have been known to last long. It's a AA battery. This specific battery will last until 2027. It's incredible. You use it in your remote controls. Use it in your game controllers. Use it on your intimate toys. Whatever. Duracell batteries. Right? Right. Now, imagine that kind of exercises, and someone telling me, I want you to sell me a Duracell battery. Go. What do you mean? Where's the Duracell battery? Sell me a Duracell battery now. But you didn't bring me one. You don't have anything for me to work with. Sell it to me now. What? How am I supposed to do anything if you're not finished? Sell it to me now. Oh, I guess you're just a sucky salesperson. Bye. You know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I hope that rambling made some semblance of sense. Oh, Steph! Shit, yeah! Steph the alternate, A up! Yo,
oh, Steph the Alter Nerd! Yay!
Yo,
welcome
Steph.
to the Black Files. We're talking about CM Punk's return to the WWE.
And we lost our minds on there. I hope that I made some kind of sense with that analogy. Did I?
No. You made some good sense, and I actually want to add some more info from what I've read. Apparently, yeah, I think you nailed it in the bud. The whole return of CM Punk. Nobody in the WWE was in on this. This was a very, very close guarded secret between CM Punk and Triple H. In fact, in the last couple of minutes of Survivor Series, Triple H took control of the production, and
he personally went and said, like, "Okay, guys, I want you guys to air the logos. I want you to air the logos early." We're like, but aren't we showing CM Punk? Like, air the logos first, man. We're gonna make it look like he's coming out at the end, like he's the post-credit scene. He's the post-credit stinger for this year's Survivor Series, man. Oh, okay. Cool. It's cinematic, I guess. And they put up their logos, and as they had this nice wide shot of the Allstate Arena, panning back, like dollying back over here, you see the screens, you see the chyrons and all the LED stage lighting and everything of Survivor Series, and all of a sudden, Cult of Personality hits, and the freaking arena, 15,000 plus people, exploded. Just it was brain explosions of the highest order, and all CM Punk had to do was walk up to the stage and holler its clobbering time, and then have one fan holler Chicago while he was looking like a rabid dog again. I don't fucking get it, but that's not the point. The point is, that's how you set up, oh crap, okay, we had an exciting match with the War Games match. It was fun. It was dramatic. We had storylines reach their conclusion. But lo and behold, when one chapter ends, a new chapter begins. And this is like one of those things where, like, just when you think you have all the answers of how the story of WWE is going to go, a brand new X Factor comes in, a brand new element comes in, and changes the game completely. Like, oh shit, we have a new player in the field. You know, we have a new piece on the chessboard.
Exactly. And
that's good storytelling. It's good production.
Yeah, no, indeed. And speaking of storytelling, like CM Punk's return, man, like it definitely caused a lot of reactions. Like there was a fan took a video, a mobile video footage of like the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, and he was like flipping off CM Punk, and he was hollering and yelling, and he was being restrained by the commentary and the WWE
and
staff,
referees and staff and all that.
I mean, we could clearly see that that's Seth Rollins being the character.
Maybe, but it
Maybe,
was.
yeah.
I actually want to show it over here. Give me just a second. Like, check this. Like, he's literally pissing off. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
They're off the air.
Ah, okay.
And you have officials, you have the commentators, Sami Zayn, his it was hilarious and it was crazy. Like, no, hold me back, mofo. Look at Rhea Ripley in the back. Oh, she was just sitting on one of the ring steps and just smirking at the stage, smirking at Punk's direction. That's just funny. But, like, I digress. That is like this. That was one reaction that everybody got, that everyone was able to get a video of Seth Rollins reacting to CM Punk, and this is rooted in reality because a few months ago, while Punk was suspended and everything, Seth Rollins was actually interviewed and by someone, and he said, like, "Hey, how would you feel if Phil Brooks returned to the WWE?" What were his words? What were the words that Seth Rollins said?
I think like Seth was saying, like, "Oh no, keep him away, man." Nah, he's one Bill Phil. Yeah, he's
far
a
the
cancer.
fuck away.
And he was like, yeah, no, we knew about this, and now everybody figured it out. Everybody just now figured it out.
He's a cancer. Keep him away from me. Stay far, far away. Like it was wild. Because that was legitimately on a real interview. So him flipping out like this just leads more into that. Was that real? Is this worked? We don't know. We can't tell. But
and that is the magic, and that is one of the cool qualities of CM Punk. Like when it comes to storylines, he knows how to mix fiction with reality.
Not just him, but also everyone else who was working there, because it was reported immediately after the show went off the air and immediately after folks started getting the buzz about him. That's why we waited till Wednesday to actually do anything to talk about Punk's return, because we didn't know Saturday night. That basically, this was such a tightly guarded secret that the wrestlers involved in the main event, in the War Games match, that'd be the faction of Judgment Day and the faction of the team of Cody Rhodes and company, they were only told moments before their match began, like, hey, listen, guys, we need you to understand something that's very important. We're ending the show, but as we end the show, CM Punk is back. He is in the building. We've had him hidden here all night. He is going to be coming back. And we want y'all to, like, when he comes back, give us your reaction of it from there. Like, Seth, you go bananas, you go batshit. And we want y'all to, like, keep this to yourselves, because we don't want any unscripted reaction or unprepared reaction as we're actually closing off. We want it to be, we wanted to have some kind of control. So they were only told right before that. But what's funny is that on the bad guys team, the Judgment Days team, Drew McIntyre, who is like beautiful, beefy, burly man of glory, of this Scottish behemoth. How freaking tall is this guy? 6'5"? Okay, that's not as tall as I thought. But still, Jesus jumped up Christ. The man looks massive next to most of the other guys. Just as the match ended, just as the War Games match ended, and the bad guys took the loss, get a load of this, guys. I wish I could... Stop that. I'm not going to play the audio, but this is someone's actual video over here. Okay, so we see that the match is ending. We see a camera guy like wiggling his arm, and Drew McIntyre left the cage and ran out. He's covering his face, and he is power walking up the ramp right a few moments before what's his face, CM Punk, was set to appear at the end, right? Because you saw what's his face here at the ending. We saw Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes raise their hands in victory, and Drew McIntyre, being part of the bad guys team, he ran off like a bat out of hell. A lot of people are saying, and this is, again, rumor and speculation, so, again, take this with a grain of salt. Folks are saying that the reason why Drew McIntyre ran away legitimately just as the match ended and did not bother to stick around for CM Punk's return is because he was frustrated that CM Punk is back and that he likely got a sweetheart deal of a lifetime, whereas Drew McIntyre has been for several months in tough negotiations for him to get better pay for him to be able to stick around in WWE but instead of leaving. So it's like him leaving out of frustration, professional jealousy, and fucking wanting to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, and it's also important to note that apparently Drew McIntyre is in the middle of contract negotiations with WWE, and his contract is set to expire next year at WrestleMania.
Ouch. And yeah, you're right over here, Matthew Coburn. It was an Operation Preparation Triple H. Preparation H. Yeah, because you guys are going to need extra Preparation H to lube up the booty hole, because that was a major fuck all of a fantastic, crazy ride that ended with this gigantic cliffhanger of CM Punk returning. And since this, he's only been back in the WWE for 4 days now. 4 days. And look at these articles that pop up over here. Look at the madness that people are already throwing out. Cage Side Seats reporting already put out an opinion piece, headline reading, WWE is taking a big risk bringing back CM Punk by Kyle Decker. This was put up when? On the 27th. On the 20th. Are you kidding me? These guys put this up literally the day after. In the afternoon. What sort of like bullcrap is that? Like CM Punk's return to WWE, the shocker, remained for the television to be a list of great returns for years. It also stands as a big risk for WWE. Let me see here. Triple H was asked, that doesn't address the real concern with bringing Punk in. The obvious follow-up question that was not asked. Sure, 10 years ago is a long time, but CM Punk was terminated from AEW less than 3 months ago after not only one, but 2 messy incidents. He publicly lambasted his co-workers and members of management during a live press conference with his boss sitting right there. This led to a backstage brawl. He eventually brought back to be the star of their Saturday night show Collision and leader of its locker room, which saw him banning folks from the show. Then he got into a backstage altercation with Jack Perry and allegedly intimidated Tony Khan, leading to his termination. Even if it was a situation where everyone around him was as wrong as was as wrong as they could be, Punk still handled himself in a way that seemed way more unhinged than professional. Meanwhile, WWE has been in a good spot. Business is up. The creative has improved since Triple H has taken the helm. Word of morale is good with Vince McMahon not around. The locker room is strong. It's certainly a calculated risk that Punk will improve an already strong business enough that it's worth disturbing the good thing they have going, especially when some of their top stars, such as Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, have issues with the guy. WWE surely is banking on the fact that their situation is drastically different than AEW's and that Punk is a better fit in WWE's world. And you know what? They may be right. AEW depended on the voice of the voiceless for a lot. He was one of their biggest stars. They put the world title on multiple times. For the record, it doesn't really count that they put the world title on him if they stripped him of the championship immediately after he regained it. Does that count?
I don't think it does. I don't know.
Let's see. He eventually anchored Collision, and with that, they needed him to be a leader. And that was something he personally did not jive with in that specific environment. WWE doesn't need a leader. They have plenty of folks in the locker room to lead in charge, such as Reigns, Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and likely plenty of other long-standing talent folks respect. They don't need him to be a top champion. He surely could be, but it's not a necessity. The pressure isn't there. Oh my god. Okay, so you get the idea. Folks are already trying to stoke the fires of, oh, is CM Punk really worth having around? He's such a dangerous person. He's such a cancer. He's such a bad, they're buying into the horseshit narratives that have been fed over the last year and a half. What do you call it? And they're regurgitating this stuff. They're repeating a lie, a manufactured story enough in hopes that they can make it the truth. Like, what's his face? Another article over here for you guys. WrestlingNewsSource.com. Yes, this is a real thing, even though this, I'm sorry, but this website looks like it was built by me back in 2001.
You're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to lambast, but take it for what it's worth. John Moxley, we mentioned him earlier in AEW. He was asked for his thoughts of CM Punk's promo from this past Monday on Monday Night Raw, saying that he's home. Moxley's quick to respond. His quoted saying, "You don't want to know what I think. I didn't see it. You don't want to know what I think." So clearly, Moxley doesn't have very high opinions of CM Punk. So that's an ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Man.
So, but the problem of all of this is not so much what these folks are saying, but moreover the fact that Punk's presence is definitely 100% doing good over here. And if I'm reading this correctly, Jose, you sent me this. Let me see here. Yep, you sent me this article from Wrestling Inc. I'll share the actual article itself, but I'll show the highlight that you showed me. Yeah, and this is bananas. Say what you want about this man. You can love him, you can hate him, you can boo him, cheer him, whatever. But as Scott Steiner once famously said, the numbers don't lie. Give me a minute over here. Okay, sorry. One of my girlfriend's in a little bit of a crisis. I hope she's okay. All right. CM, like the article was actually the ratings report from this past Monday Night Raw, courtesy of WrestleNomics, which is a website that does purely 100% like factoring in of the actual TV ratings. CM Punk's appearance on Raw for the first time in nearly a decade on Monday night, with Monday wondering how an controversial performer and a commercial-free first hour would have on ratings. Additionally, Randy Orton wrestled for the first time since May 2022. The results are now in, with WrestleNomics reporting 1.884 1,884,000 average viewers and a 0.65 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic of this episode's Monday Night Raw. This was the highest overall rated Raw after SummerSlam on August 7th. Additionally, Monday's show brought in the highest demo since April 3rd, the day after WWE WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Randy Orton coming back into the ring is one thing. CM Punk coming into the ring for a promo is another thing. But these guys can cook.
Yes. And in terms of making money, in terms of merchandise sales, I also stumbled upon a piece of news. I think I sent it to you that CM Punk is like now the number one merchandise seller for WWEshop.com. And to this day, he is still the number one merchandise seller for AEW Shop.com.
How the hell is that? Hold on. I actually want to see AEW Shop.com. Oh. Wow, really? Tell me this is a lie.
What?
That AEW Shop.com is not the actual...
I think it's called ShopAEW.com, I think.
Oh.
My bad.
I was about to say, don't freaking, don't mess with me like that. Okay, AEW Shop.com. Oh my god! I just had an evil thought, but I'm gonna leave that to myself for now. Okay, okay. Yeah. Are they even allowed to still sell CM Punk merch? What are they doing?
Well, they're still selling Cody Rhodes merch, except Cody Rhodes merch has been moved over to the alumni section, I think.
Nope.
No?
It's only CM Punk and Jade Cargill who are in alumni.
Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, they stopped selling Cody Rhodes' shirts after a while. It's a good thing I got my hands on mine.
Lovely. Okay, I see what's up. I'm guessing that these are just the last remaining shirts that they have. There are still psychopaths who, I kid you not, I saw someone on social media take their AEW CM Punk shirt, this exact same shirt that I'm wearing, and they tossed it into a fire. They burnt it because, he betrayed us. He's a corporate punk. He's PG Punk. He's not really CM Punk anymore. He's a liar. He's a sellout. Like, Bitch, please. You were complaining that he was there calling him a cancer because you believed horse shit. Now you're complaining that he's not there and saying that he's horse shit because of the same fake bullshit that you were swallowing before. Boy,
Yeah,
touch grass.
I bet those are the same fans that felt betrayed when Cody Rhodes, one of the founders of AEW, who's supposed to be the pioneer of this alternative brand, and when he went back to the WWE, they felt betrayed that he went back to the same company.
Didn't they also try to burn Cody merch?
Yes.
Jesus, fucking as one dipshit who was born from a Beverly Hills star, Beverly Hills 90210 star, cry me a river. Shit, fuck off with that. Fuck off with that idiocy. I guess.
Tribalistic fans are going to be stupid.
I guess this is just the merch that's left for what, like the AEW licensed merch of CM Punk. I think that's all that's left of his in order for them to be able to get rid, in order to clear it out. Because once it's gone,
exactly.
it'll be gone.
But that being said, CM Punk, the numbers don't lie, man. He brings in ticket sales, he brings in TV viewership numbers, he brings in merchandise sales, and a lot of his fans, they'll follow him wherever he goes. And now that he's back in the WWE, it's going to be tenfold because he's not going to be able to help bring in a lot of new WWE fans, but a lot of the fans who were disenfranchised when CM Punk was fired in 2014 may actually come back into the fold.
Right? You can, I don't want to speculate or pontificate in any way, shape, or form where I'm going to say, oh, the doom of AEW has come and it's going to swallow it all, and all the people who are watching AEW are now just going to watch WWE for CM Punk. I'm not going to fucking do that kind of doomsday prediction because AEW has proven that they've got their fans. And Tony Khan has proven he is not interested in making money. He's not interested in making decisions that will make the company of AEW profitable. He's interested in making friends and making dream matches and making star events and making big historic announcements and making Wembley stadiums and making this and wearing Antonio Inoki shit. His legendary red scarf because he's Antonio Khan Noki, this fucking doofus. He's literally cosplaying as Tony Khan, as Antonio Inoki now. Fucking moron.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I'm not trying to call for its doom either,
I don't want there to be a doom. I want it to continue. I want them to prove me wrong.
I want it to continue, but things are just not the same over in AEW now. They lost Cody Rhodes, they lost Jade Cargill, they lost a lot of the talent in AEW who are withering on the vines, who are now actually have a chance to shine in the WWE.
Right.
And now CM Punk has returned to the WWE. The TV ratings are just not the same over in AEW, and ticket sales have not been doing any good for them.
It's been it's like the tables have reversed. It was only a few, not even 2 years ago, where the WWE was having trouble filling their arenas, and even before that, before the pandemic, even they were having trouble filling arenas. They only had people coming up to the hard camera side, to the face side of the arena and around the back, and maybe some folks in the upper sections. But WWE knew how to hide that. They knew how to squeak the cameras on it. AEW doesn't, and it shows, and it hurts to see. I wanted to see exactly what's going. I know there's pictures of it. Let's see, arena attendance. Let me see over here. Yeah. Here's one example of the issues with the arenas going on with All Elite Wrestling. This is on their flagship show, AEW Dynamite, happening here. This is their big Wednesday night show. This was just in September. That is not the right screen. My bad. Give me a moment. I wasn't showing chats over here. Give me a minute.
You're fine.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, that was a different chat that I was pulling up. There we go. Come on, pop in. Where is it? Come on. Where'd it go? There it is. Jesus Christ in heaven and earth. Yeah. This is a travesty. This is a nightmare. You see that entire section of the arena, an entire almost half of the arena, empty. Actually, decidedly empty. How does that work?
Oh man, I think it's
Now, I can
really
zoom
sad.
in over here to...
And is this during like the production of Dynamite?
Yes, this is Dynamite! On
Oh my
Dynamite!
god,
On Dynamite! Like,
that is
you have
so.
some people up in this area. You have some, but it's not enough. Not really.
Oh my
What the
god,
hell?
that is horrible. That is really bad because like I think what they do is that they do Dynamite first live and then they tape Rampage after Dynamite is over, and then
I thought
after
Rampage
that
was also live.
I don't know if it's live or it's taped. I don't know. Okay, well, what I'm trying to say is that like and then after that's all over, that's when they do their Ring of Honor tapings,
Which are even emptier. Oh my
which
god.
are even emptier. Oh my god. Let's just say they were better off filming over at Universal Studios in Orlando when they started the reboot.
Right? Wait, what reboot?
The reboot of Ring of Honor when after
the
Tony
Ring of
Khan.
Honor reboot. Like,
Yeah.
listen, guys, the rated R superstar Adam Copeland, he deserves better than this. Jesus Christ in heaven, this is Edge. This is your man, Jose, the rated R superstar. He's the average motherfucker.
The multi-time WWE World Champion.
He's a Hall of Famer.
A Hall of Famer for crying out loud, and he's wrestling and he's over there in that capacity with like not many fans coming. Like I can respect his reason. I can respect his reason. He wants to finish his wrestling career, and he wants to be able to do it with his longtime best friend, who he considers his brother.
Oh my lord.
That's the only defense that's the one thing I'll go to bat for him. His reasons, his justifications for going to AEW.
I just can't. I can't.
But
this is tragic. This is tragic.
It is tragic.
And folks are like fucking arguing on that Reddit board that I pulled up, and they're like, "Oh my god, well, yeah, you could say that about WWE. Everybody's having trouble." Tiffany Washington's in the chat. Hey, up there, Tiffany. Welcome to the Black Files, where we're actually going over here. Let's see. They're asking, so is Dean coming back next? I think it's because he's acting more. Oh yeah, Edge acting more. Yeah. Dean Ambrose? No, he's not coming back. John Moxley.
Yeah, no, John Moxley. He's
sticking his
made
head
it very clear.
with kebabs and drinking the blood and carving his enemies and being the deathmatch king. Blood. He
wants to feel alive in wrestling.
Yeah, because if you're not really bleeding in a fight, then it's not a real fight. Like. Oh my god, it makes him sound like such a knuckle-dragging moron, man. And yeah, you're right.
I think another thing that's
poof went the Dynamite.
Yeah, man. I think another thing that's hurting AEW right now is that it feels like the message got lost with AEW. Like they started as an alternative, and they started as pushing these independent wrestlers who you wouldn't see in WWE, and they were in the independents, and they were trying to push them as stars, and they had like homegrown talent that they were trying to grow as stars to carry AEW company. But now they're bringing in all these other wrestlers from like WWE. They brought in Christian. They bring in Edge. They bring in Ric Flair, for crying out loud.
No,
Does Ric Flair need more screen time?
Listen, Jose, I don't think that it worked out quite that way. Because I have just one trivia question that'll kind of unfortunately stick a pin on your argument. Who was the very first wrestler signed to All Elite Wrestling?
Okay, yeah, you got me. Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho. There you go.
Fair. Okay, never mind then. But
it's okay.
Yeah.
Like the point is, AEW really just what they need is they need to quit. It started to feel like an old school war, says Tiffany Washington. It started to feel like that. And then it devolved with the Nuts taking over the Nut House over at AEW. Meanwhile, WWE had made the biggest power move of a lifetime, merging with UFC under the TKO banner, putting them in with more resources and new like marketing and television opportunities, and people are really excited for more WWE stuff going on now. And just as a cherry on top, oh hey guys, the best in the world is back. Wrestling Jesus has returned.
Yes.
We've got Randy Orton back. We've got R-Truth back.
Yes.
What's
everything.
up?
Everything is hunky dory in WWE. Everything is going great in the WWE. And
Right?
AEW, like it's hard to be a fan of AEW because every week you're dreading to hear if there's some sort of news of like another backstage fight.
Yeah, so am I. I'm just see, here's the thing, Jose. They don't have to worry about that anymore because the cancer is gone. The cancerous, dangerous, odious, disgusting, horrible, treacherous, bad, no good, evil person man, Mr. CM Punk, what with him trying to come up with ideas for people to not kill themselves on glass and for ideas of how a locker room should actually behave instead of behaving like little high school bitchy clicky girls, like little plastics from Mean Girls at each other. Like maybe you should act like professionals who want to make money and make matches and actually cause stuff to make sense. He's trying to be a positive influence and they shit on him for it. So he gives them the shit right back. Oh,
yeah. I was gonna play along with your sarcasm, be like, "Oh yeah, right." And then the next thing you're gonna tell me, CM Punk was the cause all along. He was the common denominator.
Yeah, he was. Everything that was wrong. The reason. Oh yeah, because the reason why. The reason why there was discontent between Sammy Guevara and Andrade. It's all CM Punk's fault. The crap happening between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. That's all CM Punk's fault. The fact that Tony Khan runs around like a coked out dweeb, fan casting all of his shows, not actually putting any structure behind his talent, and overseeing a billion-dollar operation purely on his masturbatory sense of how awesome and cool I am, without realizing that that two little assholes from Rancho Cucamonga, California, are taking advantage of him, and one Canadian guy is like riding him along for the easiest paychecks of a lifetime. All of that was CM Punk's fault. The cancer is gone, so AEW is going to be great again. They've gotten rid of the evil. The evil has been vanquished. Now that CM Punk is gone, AEW is going to be great.
We can be
again,
friends
right?
again. We can be friends again and shit. Yeah, no.
It's
I'm
been a slow decline in terms of the cachet of AEW. And I'm speaking of this not as a WWE fan, not as an AEW fan, which, yeah, spoiler alert, folks, I am in fact a fan of All Elite Wrestling. I wouldn't be going ahead and wearing AEW merchandise. Yeah, it's CM Punk merchandise, but I wouldn't be wearing that if I wasn't a fan. I want there to be major promotions to challenge the WWE, because when you challenge each other, you push each other to be able to do better. But apparently, Tony Khan's idea of doing better is throwing more dog shit at the wall and and hoping something sticks. The madness of that comes down to this. All of what I was trying to say on all of this was, I say the stuff because I actually want AEW to do better. I want them to actually surprise me with excellent wrestling, which that isn't a problem, but also with like behavior of the folks who are backstage running the show, which everyone's only all too eager to talk about, to actually come up like, oh, hey, no, this stuff is actually being handled professionally. This stuff is actually being handled in an upright manner. Even though you could say that about the article that came out from Fightful, that, oh, Bryan Danielson was part of the disciplinary committee and all that, the fact of it remains that they only released that today, just as the heat of CM Punk coming up was starting to fuel up. So it comes off less as a, hey, look, AEW is actually trying to be responsible, and here's how they were responsible with CM Punk. And it comes off looking more like, oh, hey, this is how Bryan Danielson is really the one who got rid of CM Punk, not Tony Khan. Everyone should love Tony Khan. He's the most special boy ever. Don't you love Tony Khan? Don't you love him? Don't you?
Oh, shit, here it comes.
Jesus, jumped up.
Juan, you're off center. We can only see your beautiful, awesome hair.
I'm not off center to. I'm only off center to you on the webcam, for you to be able to see me.
Okay, but I'm actually glad that you referenced Sammy and Andrade again, because it actually brings me to another point. Like, I'm not not calling for its end, but how long before we finally hear reports of more wrestlers from AEW wanting to go back to WWE? If you think about this, the initial reason why AEW's Saturday Collision show was made is so that all the wrestlers in AEW who were disgruntled, who felt like they were mistreated, they would be featured on that Saturday show. Andrade El Idolo, Thunder Rosa, Malachi Black, the former Aleister Black from WWE, and Miro, the former WWE superstar Rusev.
Oh, and his lovely wife Lana now. Don't forget, they have Lana now.
Yeah, they have Lana.
Like, what's even funnier is that I actually forgot that Lana was there.
Yeah, I know. Those wrestlers, they all expressed their grievances. They were mistreated. Like, they felt like they weren't getting their due in AEW after trying to work their asses off, and they were featured on the Saturday show Collision. It's like AEW is trying to cast off all the I hate using the phrase, like, all the misbehaving kids over on the Saturday show.
But let's not forget, Jose, that was all built up in order to keep them away from the Elite, because that show was made for CM Punk to keep him away from the Elite. And now that the evil has been defeated here, like, I'm literally showing the freaking meme of the evil is defeated. Like, that's how freaking maddening these idiots have gotten. Like,
now it's just another show.
Collision is, well, colliding in itself. It's freaking like starting to disassemble on itself. It looks even worse whenever they try to bolster Collision together with Rampage in order to go head-to-head against Friday Night SmackDown, or try to go head-to-head against a WWE pay-per-view. As if
that was another thing we should have pointed out. Yeah, no, AEW tried to hold both Collision and Rampage Saturday night on November 25th in an attempt to counter-program WWE's Survivor Series.
How? It doesn't work. It's never going to work, not against a pay-per-view. You might have that shot if you had NXT airing on Saturday. You know, the only program that AEW has been able to defeat in the Wednesday Night War. But not with Raw, not with SmackDown, and certainly not with a pay-per-view event. It doesn't fucking happen. That being said, I don't want any of this negativity or any of this madness to take away from the good news.
Exactly.
CM Punk is back, baby. The best in the world has returned, and we've got no clue what's in store. It's going to be a roller coaster ride, and good, bad, or indifferent, I'm here to see how it's going to turn out. Jose, I'm going to go ahead and give you let you get your final words. We are way over time.
I know. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You're not sorry at all. You love this shit.
I do. All right. So my final thoughts on this.
Yes. And let us know what we can expect tomorrow night on this week's edition of Wrestle Rewind.
Well, first of all, I'm very, very happy that CM Punk is back in the WWE. I'm very happy that he's going to help WWE do a lot of great business, especially with Triple H taking the reins on creative and the product being a lot better than it was under Vince McMahon. Oh. And honestly, on a personal level, I hope that it looks like everything's going to come full circle. I hope that CM Punk finds closure, because I think that's what's most important. Forget about the politics, forget about the money, forget about the wrestling, forget about all this crap. CM Punk needs closure, and he never got that closure. Not even after he said his piece on the Colt Cabana's podcast following his firing in 2014.
Right? Yeah, no, she
Yeah.
never really got that.
Yeah. I think.
Sorry, he never.
I hope.
Yeah, he never really got that. Sorry, why did I say she? Whatever, that's unimportant.
No, it's okay. I hope that CM Punk finds his closure. I hope that those involved with what happened in WWE years ago, like they find their closure as well. They find this will help them reconcile with themselves. And for the fans who fell out of favor with Punk or fell out of favor with WWE, this could also be a form of like reconciliation.
Right? Yeah. In order to bookend the situations that happened with CM Punk and like give him like the proper send off that he was trying to get in AEW and couldn't get rolling because they were run by a pack of assholes.
Exactly. All right. Now, to what to expect tomorrow night on this week's edition of Wrestle Rewind, which is every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and Kick. Along with my weekly, I'm not going to be this tomorrow night. Forewarning, I won't be doing a review of Impact Wrestling. Apparently, Impact Wrestling is going to be hosting some sort of special event that's not going to be on TV. I'm not quite entirely sure what it is, but I'll look into it further. But I will be reviewing this week's edition of WWE NXT and AEW Dynamite, as well as the main event for this year's WWE Survivor Series, War Games.
So we're actually going to talk about the match?
Yes, sir. We are actually going to talk about the match. Team Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, and Randy Orton versus the Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre.
Hells yeah. All right. It was a crazy, fun match, and I was living for it.
Hells yeah. Now, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bow out and head straight to bed because, yeah, it is running late and I need my sleep, homie.
All right, Jose, you have yourself a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow on Wrestle Rewind. What's that lovely little phrase that you keep saying? You got it from CM Punk. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, exactly. Folks, be responsible of where you get your news from, and remember that at the end of the day, we're all human beings.
Thank you very much, Jose. You have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
And that was Jose Casabona, folks, the head of the Ravens flock. He's signed off for the night. So my final thoughts, I already gave them pretty much. And the reason why I give AEW this much of a hard time, this much bullshit, this much flack, this is why I give them so much grief, in my opinion, in my takes on it, is because they have all the tools necessary to make their programming actually be a proper competitive threat to WWE. But because they don't know how to make these tunes work right, because the inmates are running the asylum, because Tony Khan is more interested in making friends than making money, because you've got a pack of Cucamonga fuckheads going into business for themselves all the time, because of that, they're not fostering the kind of environment that actually spurns or inspire people to want to do better. You know, they're resting on their laurels. I want AEW to do better. What's her face? Tiffany Washington was saying, no thanks, not a Tony fan. You're right. You don't gotta be. Is she still blonde? Oh, you mean Lana? CJ Perry? Yeah, she's still blonde. I was so happy when I saw it. Good night. Good night, Tiffany. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us. And I'm personally loving the madness that came forward with all of this that's been happening with CM Punk's return. And now we're just going to have to see what comes up next from there. And whatever happens, good, bad, or indifferent, you can catch it here as we break it down for you live on the uncensored, uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens flock, The Black Files. Oh yeah, I did forget. I have one announcement that I want to bring up. The donation page for our Japan trip for 2025 is live. We went ahead and we set it up. Let me just take a look over here. I'm actually going to go ahead and share the link to you guys, and I'm going to start having us share the link more often in the future. Give me a moment. Send Ravens flock to Japan. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Check it. It's a PayPal donation page. I know we have a lofty goal, but we've got a little over a year to be able to make it. It's $50,000, but we can make that goal. And with your help, we will be able to succeed, folks. Remember, we're not just going there in order to goof off on everyone else's expense. We're actually wanting to go in order to attend Star Wars Celebration. And we're actually going to want to go in order to be able to give you guys a special experience, something that you haven't been able to try before, unless you've already been to Japan yourself. That being said, I went ahead and I shared that link to you guys, and I would love it if you'd be kind enough to share that link and spread the word to your to all your fellow folks. So if you'd be so kind, help send the Ravens flock to Japan in 2025. I appreciate it. Thank you all very much. And thank you for joining us on tonight's episode of The Black Files, hosted by yours truly, Juan Arouse, as we take you to the darker and more consequential side of the world of nerd and pop culture. Be sure to request access as we go live every Saturday night at 10 p.m., simulcasting on YouTube and Kick. Hit the subscribe or the follow button. Ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our content. Become an inner flocker by hitting the join button. And don't forget to use our promo code Flock Fuel for Glitch Energy and get 20% off. GlitchEnergy.com. And until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Kick.com/TheRavensFlock, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and ring that tiny little notification bell right here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, home of the Black Files. Los Amigos play Wrestle Rewind and the Ravens Flock. For Jose Casabona and the rest of the Ravens Flock, I am Juan Arouse. This has been the Black Files, and we are out. Have a good night.